Good morning. It is Wednesday, the 28th of May here in Brisbane, and over in Las Vegas, the WSOP is underway. I've seen that the Mystery Millions event number 1 has kicked off, and unfortunately I'll be missing that one, but I've got a few friends in the action and I'll be following them online. And yeah, it's really great. The WSOP's on and going. I can obviously see that people are playing the game, so that whoever it is has gotten over the new way of registering using the app or your WSOP Plus account. When I get there, I'll give you all an update on how that all works and what I needed to go through. But yeah, I am excited, and I am also withheld. I have withheld excitement because I'm not there yet. Nothing's guaranteed. So I'm excited for my friends playing in the events already, sweating their action. Hopefully they make some deep runs so that I can watch them on the final table over the next 16 days before I head over there. In terms of the challenge, you would have seen in the titles, we're at 87.1 kilograms with 10 days remaining in the 75 hard challenge. And I'm kind of wondering if I could potentially get to 85 before going to Vegas. So it's basically 2 weeks to lose 2 kilograms. I don't think that'll happen, but maybe we'll get to like 85 point something. And that'll put us at losing 14 kilograms over this 10 to 11 week period, which I think is a good result. And Vegas will probably nullify some of that, but I'm gonna not try to go overboard. And when I get back to Australia, get back on the bandwagon. I won't do it as a challenge, but I'll make sure that we get back down to a healthy weight and start building some muscle and feeling good to be able to play my best over there when I'm there, but also when I get back, because I do plan to try and play a lot more once I get back to Australia. Weather is good so far in Brisbane. We've had quite a few weeks in a row where the weather has been nice, and none of that dreading to go for the walk in the morning or the afternoon when it's been pouring down. That's stopped. However, I have seen that next week we have a forecast for about 5 days of rain, so that'll be a little change from that. And then I think we come back to a bit of sun before we actually get out of here. Anyway, I'll leave you for now and catch you later on in the week. Hey there, how's it going? We're in a bit of a picture-in-picture situation. I thought I'd try out this new feature while walking the dogs. I think this video this week is going to be a bit of a short one. I had planned on doing a kind of an overview of my backpack content that I'll be taking for the US trip, but I haven't got everything that I'm planning to take, so I might save that for next week. Really not too much progress overall this week in terms of the 75 hard challenge. We basically had a flat week, but it did dip down to the lowest point at I think it's 87.2 or 87.1, something like that. So basically we have, I think, almost exactly 10 days remaining until the trip, and only 6 more days in the actual challenge. That's including today. So the last day will be Friday of this next week. So next week you'll get a conclusion video of the challenge and maybe a review of the backpack contents or everyday carry, and then prepping for the trip. Once I get over into the US, I'll maybe give you a rundown of what exactly my schedule looks like, what I'll be doing. So I'm going over this year with my family. I think I've mentioned that before, and so there will be slightly less focus on poker, not exactly full, like complete less focus, but there might be some other stuff that we'll do. We'll go to some restaurants, we'll see some shows, we'll go do some other touristy things, and yeah, it'll be that kind of stuff for a holiday, and then the poker will be intermingled in there as well. I thought it might be interesting actually to go through, one or two or three hands as a bit of a review and poker study. So what I might do is I might grab some random hands from last year's trip, and we can go have a look at them in the solver, and maybe I can discuss what I think I should do if that situation came up again this year. So maybe we'll go do that now, and then we'll close off the video. Okay, so here we are at the computer, and we're looking at a GTO Wizard simulation. I know I mentioned that we'd look at some hands, and I think that maybe we would be better off just looking at one specific scenario here. So I'm just going to quickly go through this and show you how we can play one specific board on the flop at various different stack sizes. So we're starting off here with 40 big blinds effective. It's going to fold to the button, who's going to raise with this range to 2.3 big blinds, and the big blind is going to call. The flop we're going to look at is King of Hearts, King of Diamonds, 10 of Spades. So a paired board that is rainbow, but has a straight draw. And looking at the pre-solved solution, we see that the big blind should check 99.8%, effectively 100% of the time. So big blind checks, and then we look at the flop, and we can see the flop is check 5.7% of the time, or bet 20% of the pot 89% of the time, and the rest of the sizes are not really chosen very often. Let's click AI Solve and click Create Solution and see what the AI for a GTO Wizard tells us when playing this flop. So this is going to simplify down to just one bet size rather than multiple. We can see that on the flop from the out of position player, we're still checking 99.8% of the time. So let's actually just remove that option of betting from the big blinds play, because we will have all the combos in the checking range. Okay, so big blind checks. And the button, the size that the AI has chosen is 25% of the pot, 92.8% of the range. And so we can probably determine that we can just bet 100% of the range here. The checking is probably there to include the quads like pocket kings and a few other bluffs to go along with that. But yeah, basically we can say we're going to bet 100% of the time on this flop. Let's change the stack size, and we can do that by going back to where we were before. Let's just go back a few steps, maybe one more.
Okay, we'll do it through here. Okay, I think we want to go back to pre-flop solution. So, okay, so we're back here, and let's change the stack size to 30 big blinds. And let's have a look at what the big blind does here. We can probably guess. We're checking 100% of the time. And in position, betting 20%, 93% of the time, checking some small amount. Let's see what the AI says when we simplify it down to one bet size. Again, we're going to remove the betting option here because it's not choosing it anyway. Check. The bet size is still 25% and it's doing it basically 94% of the time. So you could simplify this down again to just betting 100% of the time, a quarter of the pot on this flop. And so we've seen that at 40 big blinds and 30 big blinds. Now, rather than going through each one, I can just bring this over here. This is an Airtable sheet that I've got, and I've listed out all of these stack sizes, so from 20 to 100. With this exact flop that we're looking at, we see that out of position checks 100% of the time at all of these stack sizes from 20 to 100. In position chooses 25% of the pot at every single stack size. However, the in position bet frequency changes. As you can see here, but it's still 90% of the time continuation betting 25% of the pot for 20 blinds and then more. So because it's 90% of the time, I suppose we can just choose to bet 100% of the time on all of these flops and be pretty close to, at all of these stack sizes, and be pretty close to the equilibrium that GTO Wizard suggests. So there you go. There is how you play the flop. As the out of position player, you know that you check it 100% of the time to the in position player on the button, and you can pretty much get away with betting 25% of the pot for your whole range on all of these different stack sizes. Now, you can't call that flop mastered yet, because what happens when the big blind check raises? How does the button respond to that? We're not going to look into that today, and that is probably something that you can take away as homework, but there are many more other flops to also look at as well. And so I'll be doing some of that myself in preparation for all my future playing. But I just thought I'd go through this and potentially show something to you all that maybe you already knew that you should be betting small, or you should be checking to the razor out of position. But maybe you didn't know that that's what you need to do at all of these different stack sizes. Now, I haven't gone lower than 20 big blinds because that's when we start just going all in pre-flop. So yeah, some different kind of strategies to be chosen at the smaller stack sizes. Anyway, that was just a quick overview of this spot. Hopefully that helped, and maybe you can see value in doing something similar yourself for a different flop. And yeah, as I mentioned, I will be doing that for myself. Anyway, so that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and got value from it, please consider subscribing and clicking the like button. Drop any comments down below if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them, and I'll see you in next week's video.